Welcome to the Foodeshow. Today we have Dannylo Subia, and welcome Dannylo to the Foodeshow talks. And thank you for accepting our invitation. So Dannylo
Thank
Subia,
you for inviting me.
our pleasure. Dannylo Subia has done a lot of things, and is export strategist with over 15 years of experience in foreign trade, managing logistics, marketing, operations, and organizational leadership. So Dannylo, tell us more about you. What do you do, and how you came about to be in international food trade business?
Well, thank you for inviting me, first of all. And my experience is around 15 years, yes, a specialty in access market. I was the head of in the director of international commerce from Ecuador in Argentina, and my focus was to entry Ecuadorian products to the Argentina markets. Then in a TPO, Pro Ecuador, I was manage all the offices abroad in Ecuador, and we encourage the exporters on the and the some companies, middle and small companies, to export to another markets like European Union, South America, North America, and Canada, in order to access more products to those markets. So this is when I go out to that TPO, I was in a company trading in the Pacifico. I'm the general trade manager, and now we are in search of to help some companies to access their products to another markets. That's the reason that we have two products right now, like plantain chips, and another product like it's a bubble product from alcoholic with some species that is revolutionary the alcoholic sectors, because it's a sweet product, bubble product with special alcohol, and we try to put that products in other markets. So we work in some other developing products in order to entry the products to another markets like a European Union. So this is our issue right now.
So basically, you're trying to adapt the product to the markets you're getting into, and finding the best strategy and how to bring some, let's say, local products to get in abroad. I understand that you are also into consulting, and you're helping other companies do that.
Yes, that's our principal goals, and for that we have a methodology, and always to our clients, and for our products instead, um, we have three stages that we have to pass in order to entry a market. First of all, is to choose the right market. How you can choose the right market? You have to do a search and an investigation the market that your product is being demanded in this market. So, for example, when we introduce plantain chips to the United States, uh, we can review all the demand from the last 5 years, and we find that that kind of product have an increase in a good rate increase in the last 5 years. So this is one of the principal issues when you choose a market, is how that product that you sell is increasing that market. So we uh, uh, put another markets into paper, and we'll see how was that rate that so we can choose United States and Argentina too, in order to entrance this product to those markets. So this is the first stage that we have to knowledge, we have to investigate when you want to access a product in those markets. So
Great.
the
I
second
just
one
want to go
is
back. I just want to go back,
yeah.
if you allow me, Danilo. I want to go back to how important is market intelligence. You spoke about market intelligence when going in abroad, and you need to know the data of the products, or at least the products that are like your products. So, for instance, if you're doing plantain chips, you want to look at the snacking, that is chips in general, and see how your subcategory is performing compared to the category. What kind of categories are performing better with which market? And I do want to emphasize how important is the business intelligence aspect of going global and multicultural branding. And thank you for bringing that up.
Yes, and you have to. It's important that you say, because uh, many companies that wants to export the products, they think that okay, United States or maybe Spain or maybe Belgium, it's a good market for my product, because I heard that the company XX entry to that country, and it's so easy, but it's not so easy. Maybe that company have an investigation, do a business intelligence, an intelligence in those markets, in order to know how is the packaging, how is the competence, how is the competitive of the price of that product, how can an access to those markets, the logistic issues, so and the regulatory systems that market have. Because when you enter, for instance, in United States, you have an FDA certification, and maybe some companies doesn't know that issue. So they think they think that you can enter any market, and it doesn't matter. So it doesn't matter the regulations that country asks you. So this is a great cost when you don't know the regulations to those markets. So when you put your container maybe to those market, go to the port, and don't you have the certification that market needs, or you don't accomplish the regulatory issues to those markets, so you can you can pass the border to that market. So you can return the container, or maybe destroy the container, and it costs too much for the exporter. So this
Exactly.
is sport is not an adventure. In sport, you have
Yes.
a planification, and you have to put all the issues, all the things that you have to know about the entry and a product in a market.
True. You have
And
spoken about this aspect and
there's
the
something
growth
else
aspect.
that you have to consider when you put your product to another market.
Yeah. So, uh, did you, in your
Yes,
experience, find any problems with packaging regulations? Because other the fact that you have to have, entry into the market, be recognized as a reliable supplier with FDA, for instance, to have a anti-terrorism number to be able to export into the U.S. Did you ever find any problems with cultures, with labeling, with how something is performing extremely well in one market and not performing at all in different markets? And to my, just for the my experience, I used to be in the food industry as an industrial, as a manufacturer and packer. And I remember I went to Singapore back in the days, and I had oil cured olives, like Moroccan dry olives. So basically, all the Asian prospects that came into my booths spat them out. They couldn't eat them. It was a totally different taste of whatever they're used to. So we weren't performing very well in that market. And that was something I learned firsthand because I did go to that market. So any stories you want to share with us, Danilo?
Yeah, it's very usual. So it's a common mistake that companies do when export a product. You have to check the regulations of levels because, for instance, in Argentina, has something. We can export a product that is gluten free, okay? Gluten free, that we have certifications in Ecuador that that product is gluten free. That in Argentina doesn't admit that. Why? Because they do the analysis in his own laboratories in order to have the result that that product is really gluten free. That's something in these times. It's something very ridiculous because all all that certifications are integrated, but this is the regulatory form in that country, and you have to do what that country says in order to enter the product to that country. So in that case, when we can enter that product in Argentina, the samples that said our distributor said, oh no, please don't put gluten free because all the situations, all the papers, all the procedures here in Argentina are too long. So I want the product right now. And if we put the gluten-free product in the label, in the packaging, probably the business is not closed in the meantime. So we eliminate the gluten-free from the packaging, and then we can access to the country. So this is a common area because you have to know all the regulations. For instance, in the United States, you don't have this product makes you, I don't know, thin.
Yes.
For instance, no, you have to put no. This product is a snack. That's it.
Yeah, there's a lot of
You
claims.
have to name.
So
Yes.
you're right. There's a lot of claims that go into some labels without, how do I say, it, certification backup. So you cannot put, for instance, the product is automatically vegan, but you have to make sure that you go through the certification process to actually have a certifying body confirming that is vegan, because on your production line you don't have anything else that is not vegan, because it's not about the nature of the product, but it's also about the environment where the product is manufactured. Would you
Yeah,
think
but it's a
so?
good news. There's a good news for exporter. That's concern to the importer. The importer tells you what they need in the label or in the packaging. But you have to search, you have to investigate to the regulations in those markets. But the importer have he is the principal interested in have all the regulation in order for to have any problem to the market because they cost it, it depends the negotiation, but the importer is a good partner if they have asked you or give you all the information that those market needs to enter this product to those markets.
Great. So I know that you have a lot of experience in the field, and it's very hard to put it into 15 minutes. So if you have one advice for people that are trying to export into different markets, what would it be? The one advice that you would give them from all your experience in the food industry.
First of all, intelligence. You have to check the data. You have to check in the middle. You have the tendencies. You have the channels. You have the competence. You have the regulatory situations for that product in those markets. It, all is intelligence. Is investigation, is information that the exporter have to focus in order to have a lower risk to entry a product in those markets. So intelligence is the key.
Great. Thank you very much, Danilo. And I remind all our viewers, if you want to connect with Danilo, he is directly on the Food eShow app, whether it's mobile or web. Make sure you ask him a lot of questions, and also let him know what you think about this interview. Thank you, Danilo, for accepting our invite, and we'll make sure that we connect on the app.
Thank you, Hilda. It was
Bye.
a pleasure for me.
The pleasure is ours.